What do you think, Coco? Pumpkin day today. It's morning. Everything's wet. There's a big fog. Try to get some done. Try to turn some of that wood into pumpkins. Hey, sun's just coming up. It's pumpkin day for me. I'll show you how I do some of the chainsaw pumpkins. They're a pretty popular thing for me. People want. I don't think I'm too bad at them. That's a rough cut look that it's looking for, and that's really what I'm good at. It's my specialty. Leave it kind of rough cut and looking good, but I'll show you how I do it. I'll give you some. Coco did tell me she'll be mad if you don't like this video, though. So like it, subscribe. I don't know where she's going. She told me she wanted to be on the video. Like, subscribe, and click the bell notification. All right, so this is tools we're going to use to make the pumpkins. Some of my chainsaws, I need to clean this one up a little bit, but I got an MS-250. My wife bought me for my birthday. She's awesome. Bought it off our dear friend Mike Hopkins. All steel. I've got an MS-170. I did put an Oregon aftermarket bar on it. I like to keep with steel, but I did get a deal on that Oregon bar, and it's a hobby. I can't afford to just give things away, so I got that Oregon bar. And then I got this MS-170 with a dime tip bar. You can see it's really small. You know, this MS-170 I won at John Deere days when at Cowell Brothers, Georgetown, Ohio, 15 years ago. And they say the a lot of people reviews MS-170. They're only good for a couple of years. This thing's been going for 15, and I use it a lot. It's a good one. I do a little bit of grinding. I got a grinder just in case. You know, like I said, pumpkins are rough cut. I may or may not use that. I do some burning. I like to get the splinters gone, and it looks really good. Then I do some rattle can, some black for highlights, some orange for pumpkin. Some of them I'll leave clear, some I won't. And then most important, I got this thing. Might look like something fancy. It's actually black coffee with a little bit of 2% milk and a bunch of ice. Keeps me going. Thanks. Time to start chainsawing. Wait, what am I forgetting? What? I can't hear you. I can't. What? Oh. That's right. That's right. Couldn't hear you because I had ear protection I'm going to wear. I don't usually. I'll wear this. I found that I'm really getting kind of coffee with all the sawdust, so I probably won't wear this when I'm sawing. If I sand any, I will. Got gloves. I got chaps on. Chainsaw resistant chaps. I wear gloves sometimes, sometimes not. I found when I'm sanding or grinding I do, because I did grind my hand pretty good once, but we're ready to get going now. I'm going to start with this piece of pine. It's got a little age on it, but pine works really good for pumpkins, and the age won't really hurt anything because I'm going to grind off the edges anyway. So I've got the pumpkin flipped right side up now. That's the bottom that was on the top. To make the stem, what happens is, and I've kind of scratched it here, but I'll cut a tic-tac-toe pattern down. It just depends. Sometimes I do long, sometimes I do short, because this is going to be the stem. This right here will be the stem. So let me show you how that's done. got the rough shape of a pumpkin. It's starting to look a little bit round anyway. I ran out of fuel, so I got to fuel up. And I usually do a quick sharpen between every fuel tank too. So give me just a minute. All right, I got her fueled up, oiled up. I need to clean it up, sharpen just a touch, ready to get back to my pumpkin. One thing I do, and I haven't seen, and I'm not going to lie, I've seen these videos before on how to carve pumpkins. It's kind of how I learned, how we all learn. One thing I've never seen that I kind of do is I'll come in and I'll saw at an angle, and I wish I could show you that, but I can't hold the camera and saw at the same time. But I think it gives this stem a real realistic look, especially after I burn it. So let me show you what it looks like. See, I kind of do a twist with the saw. I hold it like that and go around, and I get in here in the stem and also the top. And when I burn this, I think it gives it a realistic look on this stem. And I've not seen that before. I'm sure other people do it, but I think that gives it a realistic look. Really neat. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to saw my grooves. Pumpkins have grooves, and actually if you look at a real pumpkin, it has grooves about every inch. Of course, I'm going to try to do them every few inches, because wood carving's like most things. It's almost like a caricature, and it's not going to be realistic, but it's going to pull that out and make it look like a pumpkin. Anyway, let me cut some of them grooves and I'll show you. I've been doing this with the dime tip, and inevitably somebody's going to tell me my chain's way too loose. I don't pretend to be an expert at all, but the videos I've watched, the advice I've gotten is these dime tips. See, there's not a roller chain. On my other steels, there's a roller chain here. On the dime tip, there's not. And if you run it too tight, that can really heat up and burn it up. In fact, one time I did run it a little tight, and you can see the paint's gone where that is. And the second thing is, and not so much on the pumpkins, but a lot of times when I'm using the dime tip, I'm actually making a curved cut with the chainsaw. So I'm curving. The chain has to be loose to do that. So number one, to curve. Number two, to keep this from getting so hot, I run it this loose. It's the advice I've gotten, and I've been doing for 2 years, and I don't have any problems yet. I'm cutting pine, and that's why they get all this crap. Pine's really nice to carve. It carves really well. It looks good when it's done, but it's the crappiest wood for clogging up your saw, so I need to get that cleaned up. So I've got my places cut in. I did round it off a little bit while I was doing that. It was a little bit too sharp for me, too square a little bit. A lot of pumpkins you buy, chainsaw carved pumpkins, are kind of square. A lot of ones I've done are square. That's something I'm trying to do this year, make a little more rounder. This is going to be kind of a tall pumpkin. So it's a grinder with a sanding pad. It's a sanding disc. One main part of the grinder, besides getting it, just the roughest part, is if anything looks like a chainsaw cut. So if it's a real thin cut like this here, I'll try to widen it out just a little bit. Because you can tell if it's a chainsaw cut, and I don't like that. I don't like to leave just one where it looks like a chainsaw had been in there. But it's looking pretty good. Now it's time to play with fire, and who doesn't like to do that, right? I got a big wire brush. I do want to get some of them splinters off. Nobody wants splinters. I don't want my customers to get splinters. Nor my friends. Nor me. That kind of lightens it up. The harder I go, the lighter I can get it with this brush. Show you what I mean on that stump when I did the stem, sorry. When I did that curved cut, how that looks. To me, in my experience with pumpkins, this is a real realistic stem. And I can brush it and change it just a little bit. That's one of those marks I don't like. See, I don't like to leave a mark that looks like a chainsaw mark. I might try to clean that up. But this pumpkin actually looks really good. My daughter-in-law wants one that's natural like this. I could put some clear on that, and I like that. But I'm not going to on this one. I'm going to change black because that one's kind of clogged. There we go. Just in the cracks, that's going to add some highlights, some depth to it. I like it. You don't see this a lot, but I like green on my stem. And just a lot. I don't want it to be solid green. I just want it to be a little. And then the orange. And again, this is going to be a rustic one, so I want to see the burn marks. I want to see the black through the orange. That's the look I'm going for on this one. This nozzle is pretty clogged too. I need to take a little better care of my my paint. Bought this fluorescent orange. I thought it was kind of neat. I just dust it with the fluorescent, and it really kind of brings out the color, I feel. So I would finish this thing up with a clear coat. When I get several of them done, I'll put a clear coat. It'll help protect it a little bit. It'll keep that paint on there a little bit better than it is. We bought some of this. It's called raffia. I don't know how you pronounce it. I don't know. We tied around there several ones. The paint's wet, so I'm just kind of giving for demonstration right now. But finish it up and let her go. Now this isn't the best pumpkin I've ever made. It's not bad. I see these all the time advertised. There's a place in about 50 miles from here sells them for $50 a piece. I don't sell mine for near that. I sell it for about half of that. If you're a real good friend of mine, maybe even less. But that's how I make the pumpkins. If you wanna learn how, I'd be happy to show you. I hope you like the video. Just know it's a rough job. The saws get heavy. You get sawdust all over you, sawdust in my eyes, sawdust in my hair. I don't know if I mentioned on the safety, my glasses are shatter resistant glasses, so there are kind of safety glasses, but it is a big mess. It's a hobby I like to do. If you want to do it, I'd be happy to help you. I'm glad for the guys that helped me. Thanks again, and remember, Coco be mad if you don't subscribe to this video. And subscribe to our channel. Like the video, subscribe to our channel. I don't even know what I'm saying. Thanks. Peace and love. Still at it. That first one I'm not real happy with. I wish I would have done a couple before I taped the video, because these are looking a lot better as the day goes on. This might be the one I give to my daughter-in-law, since she's my favorite daughter-in-law. But getting a little better. I'm up to 5 today. I think I'm going to enter this one in the county fair. Wish me luck, you know. Maybe it'll do well. I'm going to treat it. I'm going to treat this one with some oil I've got over there. Makes it a little yellow, but that's okay. That's what I'm looking. Sun's up pretty high now. It's 90 degrees. It's well, it's in the upper. It's supposed to be 90. It's probably 84, 85 now. Pretty hot, pretty dirty, but keep on keeping on. I'm about to lose my shade, but still going. This one's a piece of walnut. You got it. It makes a little different kind of pattern, but same kind of thing. kind of cool. Still going. The mailman stopped and I gave him one. I hadn't painted it or nothing, but I asked him if he wanted it. He said, yeah, I like him. He's a good guy. Mailmen do a lot of work for us, so he took one. We got these guys. I'm going to paint these with the brush. I think these 3. That's the one I did the video on. This is a nice looking one. It's a walnut also. No, that's pine. I'm sorry. That one's pine. And I've got 3 I dipped in some oil. See what kind of see what I'd get out of that, dipping them in the oil. Pulled a big piece out of the wood pile. Started working, didn't realize it was elm. I love elm. Number one, it was given to me, the elm in my pile was given to me by a very good friend. But it's easy to work with and it's a beautiful wood. I dusted this one and I think I'm going to try to coat it with oil, hoping it turns out really well. This might be the one I enter in the fair. I don't know. I like it. Slap some paint on those, and by slap I mean I put those gloves on and slap the paint on it.